okay. I know it's been a while since I've made a video. I've been really sick. I looked terrible. I sounded terrible. I couldn't make a video like that. I'm kind of sick right now, but I'm feeling much better. I know I have to get a video out there, so I decided to fight through it and go ahead and make a video, even though my voice kind of sounds scratchy. I know I had to get a video out there, so let's talk about the Lions' win last night and what this means for them moving forward. And no, this is not my room. This is my little sister's room. My room currently, I'm setting it up for future videos so it looks a little bit better. So in the meantime, I will be using my sister's room with the pink walls. But anyways, let's get into what this video is about. The Lions beat the Packers yesterday 30-17 to move to 4-4, and now they are 2 games behind the first place Vikings in the NFC North. So what does this mean for the Lions moving forward? Well, first off, I wouldn't take anything away from yesterday's game because Green Bay is not a very good team at all without Aaron Rodgers, and the Lions did what they're supposed to do. They handled their business, which I guess is something you can take away from that game because the Lions have been known for not handling their business and ruining their season by losing the teams they should beat. So I guess you can take that away, but as far as like in-game stuff, I wouldn't take anything away from this game. But what this game does do is push us back to 500 at 4-4, and we're now 2 games behind the Vikings. Even though I think it's a long shot that we can actually catch the Vikings because we'd have to win a lot of the rest of our games, and then they'd have to lose at least a couple of their games so we could catch up because we only played them one more time this season. But based off what we've seen from the Lions so far this year, should us Lions fans believe in this team to think they can actually make the playoffs this year, even though they're 2 games behind the division control? And I think the answer is absolutely. No matter what anybody outside of Detroit says about the Lions have been a really good team this year. We've had a couple heartbreak losses, which I told you guys when it happened could come back and hurt us because we had a tough schedule to start the season, so losing games that we could have won, like to the ones to the Falcons and to the Steelers, those ones could end up hurting your season because you need those type of wins. But nevertheless, we were close in those games. The Falcons, we lost off a BS call. And the Steelers, we were in the red zone 5 times. So we're a good enough team, and we exhibited that we are a good team. Yes, there are major holes in this team, like the running game, which has been a hole since I became a fan of this team. There's also the lack of pass rush on the opposite side, which has a lot to do, I say, with Haloti Ngata going out for the year and Ziggy Ansah being hurt almost every week. He's obviously fighting through injuries, and he's not the same person we saw back when he made the Pro Bowl. But there are also a lot of positives about this team that can push us to a playoff berth. And before I even go into the positives, I know some of you guys are out there saying, how are we going to make the playoffs if we have no running game and no pass rush? That's going to hurt us when we go against actually good teams. And I understand. Why? Why would the Lions make the playoffs? And they haven't shown us nothing to believe in almost their history of playing. And when it comes to adversity, we're not the greatest team when it comes to that either. So why should we trust that this team will make the playoffs? And to that, I can tell you that there are many reasons why this team should make the playoffs. And if they don't, they'll just be considered the same old Lions because they really should make the playoffs. The first reason why we should believe the Lions should make the playoffs this year is because we have Matthew Stafford on our team, who has darted up defenses all year. And against the Steelers just 2 weeks ago, who were considered one of the best pass defenses in the league, he tore up for over 400 yards. And if we had a running game, he would have been able to score in the red zone. And yes, that may be a negative that kind of underlined my point. Maybe I should have brought that up. But the point is we have Matthew Stafford, who always gives us a chance to win these games. Week in and week out, you can see that Matthew Stafford has complete control of this offense. He's making incredible throws, and he's only thrown 4 picks on the season. He's not turning the ball over. So when you have Matthew Stafford on your team, he gives you a chance in every game you play. And the Lions should be confident in that, which I believe they are. And this leads us to reason number 2, the people he's throwing the ball to. Marvin Jones and Golden Tate, they're really stepping up. Marvin Jones is getting the deep balls. Golden Tate's creating yards after the catch, as he always does. It's no more of the inconsistency like last year. They've been showing up each game so far, and that should give you belief in our receiving core. Our tight end group is actually doing pretty good. Ever since being talked about being traded and booed by his home fans, Eric Ebron's had a couple good games in a row. Darren Fells continues to do pretty good for us. So there you go. There's another strength in our passing game. And then we have maybe someone you didn't think would have a big impact on our season who's actually playing a really big role for us in TJ Jones, who's coming up with big catch after big catch for the Lions, and it's really paying off for us as a team. And along with that, we have to be getting Kenny Golladay back at some point in this season. So once we get him back, we'll have Golden Tate, Marvin Jones, TJ Jones, tight ends Eric Ebron and Darren Fells, and then we got Theo Riddick coming out the backfield in the passing game, and this offense could end up being very explosive. So really, that's two reasons right there. One reason, Matthew Stafford is our quarterback, and the second reason, our receiving corps around him. The third reason is Taylor Decker is on his way back. Jim Caldwell said this past week that he might dress for this upcoming game. He ended up not dressing, but that has to be a good sign that he's going to be on his way back pretty soon, which can help this offensive line tremendously. Now, for the fourth reason, let's work our way over to the defense, where we have the sixth best rushing defense in the NFL. Lions defense has also only allowed 22 touchdowns this year, which is good for 10th in the league. And while the pass rush has been non-existent, the Lions have 10 interceptions on the year with 9 forced fumbles, with 6 of them we have recovered, which puts us in the top tier in takeaways on the season. On to reason number 5, the only bad loss the Lions have taken this year was versus the Saints, which we actually made close in a touchdown game with possession of the ball, and we ended up turning the ball over, but my point is the Lions haven't had any bad blowout games for them this year. All of them have been close, and we've had quite a few heartbreakers against some pretty good teams. The Panthers, the Steelers, the Falcons, all of them have been heartbreakers in really close games. So it's not like the Lions haven't been keeping up with these teams, and at least I'd argue that at least one of these, actually 2 of these games, we should have won. One of them was against the Falcons over BS call, like I mentioned, and against the Steelers, Jim Caldwell decided to go for a touchdown instead of kick a field goal and give us a lead in the third quarter. So if it wasn't for these 2 things, the Lions could have won these games. So it's not like the Lions are just one of these teams hoping to snatch a playoff berth and get knocked out the first round. No, they're actually playing really good against really good teams. They're just losing in really close games in heartbreaking fashion. And now we're on to my final reason, which is easily the most important and biggest reason I have mentioned so far. Every single one of our remaining games are against teams that we can easily beat or have beaten already. I mean, we got the Browns, we got the Bears twice, we got the Vikings again, we got the Packers again, we got the Ravens, the Bucks. I mean, these are all games that the Lions should win. And honestly, the Lions should really win out the rest of the season. There's no reason why we should lose any of these games that we have for the remaining of the season. If this Lions team is actually good, if this team is actually what I believe it is, there is absolutely zero reason why we should not win out and go 12-4. I mean, there seriously is. I mean, look at the schedule. We have easy comp the rest of the year. None of those games are games that you say the Lions should lose. And if we do, it's just going to be same old Lions. I mean, maybe we could lose one of them and go 11-5, but that's even a disappointment to me because these teams are easy. If we're really as good as I think we are, we should win every single one of these games that we have upcoming. Yes, you're hearing it here first. I believe that the Lions are going to win out the rest of their season if they're the team I think they are, which is kind of hard to say and take seriously because the Lions have failed the city of Detroit for like the last half century. I mean, they fail us over and over, but I believe this team's different. I think they're sound fundamentally. They got good coaching staff. They have good management. Finally, we have our franchise quarterback. I mean, and seriously, we have easy games. I mean, it's not like I'm predicting us to go out there and beat the Patriots or it's just easy games. I mean, we should easily handle these games. I wouldn't be saying this if we were playing like competent teams. I mean, the only competent team I respect out of that is the Vikings, and we don't know anything about their quarterback situation. We beat them already. So, I mean, we should win out the rest of our games. I know it sounds pretty bold because it is the Lions, and they happen to break our hearts all the time, but I believe in this team, and I'm ready to make that prediction right now. I believe the Lions will win out the rest of the season and go 12-4. I mean, so there you guys have it. I believe the Lions should win out, and they will go 12-4 and make the playoffs. What do you guys think about what I've said so far? Do you guys think I'm absolutely crazy for thinking this kind of thing? Do you guys think I actually am making a point? Do you guys agree with me? Or do you guys think that we'll maybe lose 1 or 2 games? Let me know any of your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Or you guys can hit me up on Twitter as always, which I'll put up here for you guys right here. If you liked the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up for the support. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out my channel. If you like the channel and you like the videos I'd be posting, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. And go ahead and show your friends, show your family, show your friends' family, show your friends' family's friends. Show everybody you guys possibly can, as I always say. I thank you guys for the support, and please try to get my channel out there for everybody. And before I get out of here, I have some great news. I am now part of the team of writers for palaceofpistons.com. I published my first article a couple of days ago. I'm so excited for this opportunity. I hope to take it and run with it. And I appreciate everyone's support. If you haven't checked it out already, I'll put it on here for you guys right here. Go check it out and show everybody. I appreciate the support. And yes, I'm very excited for this opportunity and hope to run away with it. And that's all I have for you guys today. I will see you guys in my next video.